everyone, it's Big Sister here. I'm very privileged today to have Matt Forde, my manager at News Corp Australia, with me today. Matt works in the management level, so he'll be sharing with us some insights and some tips when you're looking for jobs. So Matt?
Hey Pat, how you going?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
That's good. So Matt, as my manager, of course I know you, but people don't know you. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, so I've been a manager for around about 6 to 7 years now, through various different jobs. I've been at News Corp now for 4 years.
Okay.
Really love the industry, so we work in advertising. A big part of my role is to make sure that my team is growing, achieving targets, and also making sure that we have a good culture within our business unit.
How did you start off your career?
So I was my actually very first job was at McDonald's when I was at school.
Okay.
That was actually a great testing bed because you have to build very good team skills and a lot of discipline within that job, actually, believe it or not. But after I got out of school, I went straight into my first sales job, was in the automotive industry in new car sales. So I started there as a salesperson and built my way up to a management level.
Do you have a time when you kind of fell flat on your face, when you just failed, you didn't know what to do with your life? Have you ever come across a situation like that at all?
Yeah, I had a period when I was younger, and I was in the automotive industry actually, and I was a salesperson there, and my priorities then were at the time were going out with friends on the weekend, and in the automotive industry you work on weekends. So I was showing up to work, not 100%, not doing my best. And even though I was actually, doing all right on the leaderboard in terms of how many units were sold, I actually had a great mentor. I had a really good boss at the time, and he pulled me in and he asked me, and he said, "Matt, what's going on? Even though your numbers are X, Y, Z, I know you could do better." And it was really good because we had a really good chat, and I realised that I didn't have anything to look forward to. The things that I was looking forward to were week to week, weekend to weekend, and I didn't have any goals for the future. And because I had no goals, then I wasn't motivated in the right direction.
Right.
So, looking back, while I had sort of fun in that period, looking back at it, it was a sort of a low time because I think I wasted too much time in that period.
Okay.
But I had a good mentor that pulled me back on track. So the lesson I learned out of that is you should always have something to look forward to. You should always have something to aspire to, because that's what drives us and that's what makes us grow and propel forward, which is really important. So we talked about it, we put some goals in place, and I still got to have my fun, yet I all in moderation. I brought it back and was on my way and got a management position not long after.
Wow, that's awesome. So can you share with us, back then you must be quite young, can I just ask how old were you?
About 21.
21. So what was, at the end, what was the goal that you figure out that, this is the goal that I have to stick to when you were 21?
Well, we had a discussion, and I always liked helping people, and liked being around people. So the thing that I really wanted was to be in a position to help sales staff, and so therefore be a manager. So that was a definite goal of mine. And actually writing it down on paper, writing down the things that I'd actually need to do to attain that position, was a great thing for me, because then I was able to clearly see the road ahead on what I needed to do to get to that position, and it made it all the more easier.
Being in management team, you are involved with recruitment process and everything.
Definitely.
Can you please tell us, if you're going to hire someone, what would be the most important thing that you look for?
The biggest thing I look for is the ability to learn, to grow within someone. I think that's a very, key business trait, because in an ever-changing business environment and an ever-changing world, you need to have the flexibility within yourself to be able to take on new learnings, change what you might have done before, try different things, and that adaptability, that ability to change and to grow is very important, because Pat, you could get someone with a really high skill set come in and do an interview and be very stoic and not like. You can obviously tell when someone has that flexibility and not have that flexibility. And the problem with that is, even though they might have a really high skill set, because of our ever-changing world, you need to continue to develop yourself.
Yeah.
And I always think that's a great motto to have for everybody, to have self-development and growth within their lives. So that's a definite key trait that I look for when recruiting.
Absolutely. So would that come out in the attitude at the interview as well? Because obviously you probably can't tell whether this person got like the flexibility. So that's you can tell. The way I tell that is through questions I ask, and in terms of are they open to growth? How are they currently growing themselves? Okay.
What is their development plan? What are the things they like to do to become a better person? And it's not only in your business career, but you can definitely tell the people around who are trying new things, who are like, these are the things that I'm currently doing. I'm getting better at, a hobby I might have by taking new classes or reading books or things like that. You can also, when asked direct questions like, how do you handle change, and tell me instances how you've done that in the past. So I would suggest when going for interviews that you have those lined up. So different things and it might be how you've had to adapt from education, different sorts of things, how you've adapted to different things in your life if you don't have much career experience. But you should also definitely have a bit of an insight within yourself on how you're developing yourself. So what are the things you're currently doing to develop yourself so you can attain the goals that you want? That's really impressive within an interview experience, because it shows a person is willing to invest in themselves. And someone that invests in themselves is more likely to invest in your company and your business.
There are a lot of Thai people out there in Australia or even around the world that are looking for a job. I mean, like in a corporate world, they've been applying for more than 50 to 100 jobs, but a lot of people still don't get much response back. What would be the tips for those people who are trying?
So the biggest tip I would say is definitely do your research, because the thing that gets you the interview doesn't necessarily get you the job. It gets you the interview is your resume. So making sure that you have a cover letter that is aligned to that job. So maybe do some research on the job. Maybe in the cover letter you mention it specifically on why you would like to go for that position or why you would like to work for that company. It just shows the next level of this person's actually really interested, rather than sending out bulk resumes to
one size fits all.
One size fits all sort of thing. Now, while that might take extra time and extra work, it is definitely beneficial. So when I've read resumes before, when someone is talking about News Corp and their passion is jumping off the page to why they would like to work for this company, it's definitely a key feature that I look for sure. Also, I would say make sure that you're talking about your core strengths. Obviously your education is very important, your past experience is very important, but if you're just jotting down experiential things and things that you had to do in your last role, sometimes that doesn't convey your key strengths. So I would definitely suggest on a resume a section of key strengths, such as your problem solving abilities, your adaptability to change, leadership skills, team working skills, those sorts of things. People look for key strengths and how those strengths will be applied to their position.
I hope you find this video useful, and thank you so much, Matt, for your time. And I hope people get a lot out of this, and if you have any further questions, feel free to get in touch with Big Sister. I'll be more than happy to help everyone. And yeah, thank you, Matt, today, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.